All right, what's going on, everybody? Daryl Porter here, your Kingdom Wealth Coach, the founder and co-founder of the Kingdom Wealth Group, and excited to be coming to you guys with another video. Today is going to be a video on the life cycle of money. I told you guys that I was going to do a video talking about this seven-step cycle of the lifestyle of money, or the life cycle of money. I'm sorry. And so you can have a better understanding, guys, of how all of this works. All right. This has been repeated throughout history. And guys, I'm telling you, when you can understand this, you put yourself in a better position to really understanding what it is you need to do in order to make sure that you and your family are in position and prepared for any type of crisis that may arise. All right, so with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get into this life cycle of money. All right, so we're going to start with the first thing that happens, guys, is free market emerges. And what happens is, people move into a new land. They start applying their labor to the earth. All type of skill sets start coming up. You got carpenters, you got people who plant, you got people who like to hunt for food. This is even happening during the biblical days, guys. So these things start to come to place. You got the free market that emerges, and people start coming together, like building a whole new civilization. That's what happens when you have when you enter into a land. We talk about how the children of Israel entered into the promised land. When they finally entered into the promised land, these are the type of things that started taking place. These are the type of things that started taking place. So the first thing that happens is the free market emerges, and then from there, free market money emerges. Okay, so now that you got all of these things happening, you got people who tend to cattle. Again, you got people who plant food. So now there's the barter system starts to come into place. So people start exchanging different things and bartering, and then free market money emerges inside of that free market. And the free market money, guys, that has been proven to be free market money for over 6,000 years has been gold and silver. Right? A lot of people, again, when they start this out, gold and silver is what people are known to have used when it came to something that had value, that had intrinsic value. So free market money emerged from the free market. And then we go into the third step in the cycle, is when now the government emerges. Now what you have, order comes, and then a government emerges. And we know what happens when the government gets involved in anything, guys. They start to regulate how the market operates. And that's exactly what happens. They start to control every aspect of the market, including the money. All right, including the money, which takes us to the next step in this cycle, guys, is where government monopolizes the money. Governments take control of the money. Now they get involved in where the gold and silver comes from, how it's manufactured into money, and they just take control of it. They monopolize the whole system. So they tell the mint how the coinage is to be made, how much it weighs, whose image will appear on it. This is when government, again, comes in to monopolize the money. We see it happening all the time, guys. Is where we are currently in our situation. The government has monopolized the money. They tell you whose face to put on the money, what the value of it is. Governments have taken control of the money supply. And that's step number 4 in the life cycle of money. So that takes us to the next part of the life cycle of money, step number 5, which is the debasement of the money. All right. So what happens is the government starts to remove the value of the money itself. And guys, anything from 1964 and before, it was pure silver, over 90% silver inside of those coins. Anything 1965 to present, there's no silver in the coins. All right, it's been debased. They've removed the value from the money. Again, guys, our coins today literally have no silver content inside of those coins. This is what we call inflation, guys. This starts the inflation, because what happens is, as they start to debase the currency, all right, taking all the precious metals out and adding base material, all right, to the coins, which allows them to make more. All right. It allows them to make more when they're putting copper and things like that inside the coins. It allows them to make more money. And because of that, again, they're starting to print more money. It starts to debase the money, which starts to bring the value of that money down. All right. This is step number 5 in the life cycle of money. So that moves us from being from the debasement of money to where now people start losing confidence. All right. So the step number 6 is confidence, crisis, and collapse. People start losing confidence in the money. All right. Because it's worthless now. All right. Your $100 is not buying you what it bought you a year ago or 2 years ago. So people are starting to lose confidence in this currency. And that's step 6. And guys, I'm going to tell you, that's where we are right now in this 7-step cycle. We are in step number 6 in this 7-step cycle where people are starting to lose confidence. All right, we're having all type of issues. Everything happening all around us, guys. People are not paying attention to what's going on. You know, we got different countries that decide they no longer want to do business with the dollar. These things are happening, guys. People are losing confidence, all right, in the dollar, in the currency. And then that's what brings about a crisis and a collapse. And we are currently in step number 6 right now, guys. It's just a matter of time before this happens and before this takes place. All right. And that's why I'm so adamant about what I do and what I teach now, because I know where we are. I understand the life cycle of money, and I know exactly what's going on right now. And when you know what's going on, guys, you can position yourself on the right side of the wealth transfer, because the wealth transfer is happening right now as we speak. Because what happens when people lose confidence in the currency, it collapses. It's happened to Zimbabwe. It's happened to Greece. It's happened to Weimar Germany back in the 1920s. And here recently it happened to Venezuela. People lost confidence in the currency and it collapsed. And then what happens, guys? It leads us to step number 7, to where now the reemergence of free market money. And what does that mean? When people lose confidence in the currency, every time it's happened, guys, in history, people always revert back to gold and silver. That's why I said in step number 2 that free market money, it's always been gold and silver. That's what people revert back to. So we're getting ready to run into step number 7 in this whole life cycle of money. And we all know that number 7 is the number for completeness, guys. The cycle will be complete once free market money reemerges. And that's where we are. So that's why I'm so strong and heavy on what I teach, because I understand, again, the life cycle of money. I understand where we are, I understand where we're going, and I understand we're in this 7-step cycle that we are in right now. And we are in the 6th step of this 7-step cycle. All right, we're in the 6th step of this 7-step cycle, guys. And then it starts all over. It starts all over. And I've always said that we will always have a currency in this country, guys, always, because we'll always have to deal with government, with worldly government. And because of that, again, you got to always keep yourself in position, always understand where we are in this life cycle of money, because this is it. This is the cycle that repeats itself, has been repeating itself for thousands of years. For thousands of years, guys. Even in the Bible, during the time of Joseph, or during the time of Joseph, money failed. The money failed, guys. And it's going to happen to us just like it happened to all these other countries. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, guys. Joseph created a wealth system that God gave him to prepare him, or to prepare the land for what was getting ready to happen. 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine. But he gave him a plan during the 7 years of famine, or 7 years of plenty, so when the 7 years of famine came, it didn't affect them. We have to be the same way, guys. And that's why I'm so strong in putting this information out there, because I understand where we are right now. All right, financial education has to include understanding money and how money came to be. All right, where it got started and where we fell off at. Very important. So this is the life cycle of money. I hope you got something from that, guys. Again, if you go back and listen to this, take notes and understand where we are in this 7-step cycle, the life cycle of money. All right, guys, take care. God bless. Daryl Porter, your Kingdom Wealth Coach, signing off. Until my next video, we'll see you guys over the top.